Good day, Amherstburg. It's myself, Laura D'Alessandro.
And it's Ron Giofu from the Rivertown Times. Back here on the airwaves of CKBG 107.9 The Berg for the Rivertown Times Week in Review.
Wednesday, December the 18th. We made it.
Yeah, last paper of 2024 is currently being circulated around Amherstburg and surrounding communities, and I don't know where the year went, but it's gone. We got our biggest paper of the year going around the community, so best of luck to our drivers, Ken and Louise, as they're going around.
They're heavy this morning, those papers.
They are, yeah. It took us a little bit longer to bring them in out of the van, so...
Yeah, lots of good things. Like Ron said, it's our biggest paper of the year. It's jam-packed with pictures, with advertising, Christmas shout-outs from all local businesses. So let's dive deep into the paper with our front page story. The Goodfellows, they were out selling their papers last weekend, and they raised $15,000.
Yeah, they were pretty happy with that total. It actually is a little bit more than that, and it all goes back into the community. They do food baskets for those in need. If you need a food basket this Christmas, that's what's the Goodfellow paper sales is what's going to fill those baskets. They take the money and they work with Sobeys, and they get good deals on groceries, and every cent goes towards is helping to feed those in need of the community. Now, I know registration has closed for food baskets. They have to submit a number to Sobeys, so hopefully everyone got what they needed this holiday season. I know the volunteers were out Friday evening and Saturday morning raising all that money. Volunteers are still needed this afternoon, Wednesday afternoon, starting at 4 o'clock at the Columbus Community Hall, or more commonly known as the KFC Hall here in Amherstburg at 190 Richmond Street. And starting at 4, they're doing their packing of the baskets. So they're putting everything together. The food's coming in, and they're assembling all the baskets, and they're going to get everything ready for tomorrow, because on Thursday morning from 9 until 12, they are distributing the baskets out of the same location, the Columbus Community Hall. They ask that you get there sooner the better. They got to be out of there right at 12. If you need your basket and you're coming to get a basket, if you can be there between 9 and 12, preferably 9 and 11 probably, I'm sure they'd appreciate, because as I say, they got to be out of there as quickly as they can. They can't stay past noon. So if you need a food basket and you've registered for one, head to the KFC Thursday morning, and then you can pick yours up starting at 9 a.m. But again, great job by all the volunteers. Some of the volunteers have been taking pictures of on the street corners for many, many years. So and so they had some new folks out there as well. So thanks to all who donated, and thanks to all who volunteered their time to help the cause.
And a little bit of backstory about the Goodfellows papers. I didn't know this till I came to the RTT, is that we at the Rivertown Times put that together. We put that together, and in partnership with Huron Webb, who prints the Rivertown Times, we do that at no cost for the Goodfellows. So I want to thank our graphic designer, Lori, and obviously Ron, too. He helped with getting the pictures and everything formatted. And a big thank you to Huron Webb out of Wyoming for covering the cost of printing those papers. Also, our front page story, and we'll just touch on it briefly here because I know you're sick of this word, the budget. You dived deep into it last week, but a few little things that maybe you wanted to touch on today.
We did a much deeper dive into the budget itself, obviously due to press deadlines and that sort of thing. We only could publish a partial story last week in the print edition, but we got the full story in this week, starting on page 1. We actually got 3 stories in this week about the 5.12% tax increase. That's translates into $144.78 per $250,000 of assessment. Lots of background of what went into that. We got a story on the pump track and what the plans are for that, and how those talks went during the budget deliberations. Concession 8 North is getting some work done this year, or at least a part of it is. And Concession 6 North will also get some work, not this year, but that was bumped up until 2028, I believe. It was delayed even further than that, and Council is starting the process of getting the ball rolling on that this year. I mean, they're not spending any money this year, but they want to look towards that in a couple of years, in 2028, starting some engineering work. So, again, these full stories in this week's RTT. Make sure you check it out. As I say, our drivers are going around the community dropping off the print editions in boxes and in stores, and it's our online www.rivertowntimes.com. Make sure, if you can't find some of the stories, just keep exploring. I know the overall budget story, you might have to click on front page news and search and give it a click and find out what last week's story was, but it's still there, and you can still read it at www.rivertowntimes.com.
There was a council meeting on Monday night, and at that council meeting, the town decided that they're going to enter into the negotiation phase with Valenti regarding the former General Amherst site.
Yeah, a few of the council members said, hey, we're not committing to anything, but they are going to, as Councillor Don MacArthur said, kick the tires and do their due diligence and get more information. They're going to at least take a closer look at the former General Amherst High School site, see what kind of a deal they can get there. We'll see what they can come back with. I know I talked to Peter Valente after the discussion. He's pretty excited to go into that phase, and it sounds like council members are as well. They got space needs problems at the current town hall. It would cost anywhere from about like 4.6 to over 6 million to renovate the current town hall, and even then, administrative report says it might only last 5 years. I think the phrase "throwing good money after bad" came out of last Monday night's council meeting, and the full story on that is on page 2 of this week's edition. So make sure you check that out. But town halls, could be on the move to General Amherst. Or it might not be, but or at least they're going to explore it further and enter into the negotiation phase and see where it goes from there.
Speaking of Valente, they have a proposed 4-story building going on the home of the former boxing site.
Yeah, speaking of developments near high schools, it's right across the street from the current North Star High School. As you say, Laura, it's going right on where the boxing club site is, or the Scout Hall, as it was known for many years. They've got a lot of work to do on that, but they're looking at a 4-story building. So some residents they're kind of wondering about some of the variances. It's right next door to the Amherstburg Food and Fellowship Mission. So I know Tim McAllister was there. He was just saying, their interests are feeding the people in need. But it sounds like they're going to keep their eye on it, see how it goes and what's what. And so we'll see. It could be a residential/commercial development. The commercial obviously would be on the main floor, and the building, if it goes ahead, would have 22 residential units. We got a story inside this week's RTT on it. And I know they're asking for a 4th story in exchange. They're trying to accommodate additional side yard development. So they're trying to work with the town, work with the neighbors, and get everything done. And again, full story in this week's RTT starts on page 4. And make sure you check that out.
So big things coming for 2025, and makes me feel good to know that you'll have your eyes and ears appealed to it all and keep us all informed. Yeah,
going to do our best, and I'm still going to be writing up some stuff during the holidays, but we're going to stay on top of stuff for the rest of 24 and then into 25 for sure.
Just devastating news is coming out of the Amherst Point area. A house fire on Saturday night destroyed a home on Lake Beach Road. The home was a total loss and damage was sustained to the home next door. There is a GoFundMe set up. You had covered the story. There is the GoFundMe addresses in the paper if you're interested in helping out this family. Obviously, a house fire any time of the year is devastating, but this close to Christmas, and I know that the family has young kids. So they're looking for an appeal for donations if you can help out in any way. And, we all just kind of take time this time of the year too to be cautious, be aware, and make sure you're keeping your smoke detectors tested and you have an eye on things at home. And our heart goes out to all those that were affected by that fire.
Absolutely. The cause is accidental and destroyed one home and spread to a second home. So obviously total damage is being estimated at about $800,000. And obviously any time of year, as you say, it's a terrible thing. It's horrible to have, this kind of fire, and especially, as you say, Laura, right before Christmas. So we want to focus on if we can get some help for these folks. We got the link not only in the paper for the GoFundMe page, it's on our Facebook page and on our X site as well. So I know the community has been kicking in. I haven't checked it for a bit, but I know it was over $12,000 last time I checked. But, these folks need all the help they can get. So whatever you can do, and whether a big donation or a small donation, please help them out if you can. And again, those links are in the paper and on our website at rivertowntimes.com, and on Facebook and on our X site, or otherwise known as Twitter. Okay, turning our attention now to sports. The Admirals have a win and a loss under their belt. They had a 3-game winning streak going into Saturday night's game. They won in Dresden 3-1 last Friday night. Got a big win there, but that streak ended on Saturday night with a 3-1 loss at the Libro. I know Zach Gervais was pretty pleased. He said, Coach, he was happy with their effort on Friday night, and they didn't really put in a full 60 minutes on Saturday night, but that happens, and they're going to work hard in practice. They got the Essex 73s coming in on this Saturday night. That's always a big game, and when you get the rivals from half hour away coming into town. The Admirals did knock off Lakeshore recently, so they're going to try for another big win over Essex. Obviously, the 73s are always a tough team, but the Admirals plan to be ready for them. And their final game of the 2024 calendar is on Sunday, but that's on the road. If you want to make the trip to Blenheim, that's the Sunday night game. So it's home to Essex on Saturday and on the road in Blenheim on Sunday before they return first weekend in January.
Senior girls volleyball, they claimed the silver in a recent tournament that they attended.
Yeah, they played, they qualified for the silver bracket and took first place in that. They're a young team this year. They have a lot of inexperienced players, some players brand new to volleyball. And I know coaches Jeff Miller and Mary Ewer are working very hard with them. It's a skill building year, and that's what they're doing. They're building up the skills of these young volleyball players. And I know they played a regular season game last night, and they ended up sweeping Tecumseh Vista Academy in 3 sets here at North Star in Amherstburg. So they're making progress as the year goes on. They're hopefully going to try to make some noise come playoff time, but that's not until February. So high school sports is now on a hiatus until early January. And I know when the Wolves come back, they host Villanova in one of their first matches back. And obviously the Wildcats are a very good program as well. So that should be a good, fun match to watch when they come back after the Christmas break. And but right now, North Star going into the Christmas break on a bit of a roll.
Well, hopefully in the new year, the boys basketball team can scrape together a win because they're 0-5 on the season.
Yeah, they lost last night against Massey on the road. They had a couple of games last week. They lost to Maranatha last Tuesday, and they traveled to Leamington last Thursday and fell a bit short against Cardinal Carter. So hopefully they get on a bit of a roll. They need to get rolling if they want to make the playoffs. But there's still a bit of time, and hopefully if they right the ship, they can get some momentum going and get into the playoffs. But they got to dig themselves out of a bit of a hole. So we'll see how they do come January. But they got a bit of work to do, but I'm sure they're going to put in the time and effort to do it.
Well, that's kind of all the news that we wanted to touch on today. Like we said, it's our biggest paper of the year, so there's lots to check out and see in there. But I wanted to take time today just to send a heartfelt thank you to all of our loyal readers and our dedicated customers. We couldn't do what we do without all of you, and we so appreciate your support. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I think we have the best job in town. I
think so, yeah. We have a ton of Christmas stuff. So you go through it, there's all kinds of stuff from our friends here at CKBG doing a can drive and really help you out, the Amherstburg Food and Fellowship. There's more photos at the Mission in this week's paper. There's a performance of Scrooge out in Colchester. There's donations. There's just a whole whack of stuff in this week's RTT. The Santa shout out. We got letters to Santa. That's about 5 full pages of stuff letters.
You get your letter in there, Ron?
I've been bad this year. I didn't bother to write one. So
save yourself the ink, eh?
Yeah, Santa would just laugh at me and just throw my letter in the fireplace.
That Giofu guy again.
Exactly. Congratulations to Ann Garrett. She's retiring from Community Living Essex County. Stuff a fire truck toy drive. And I know I'm going to miss something, but just pick up a copy of this week's RTT. Just a whole lot of stuff. Breakfast with Santa. Just all kinds of Christmas stuff and all kinds of holiday-related stories, photos. And honestly, there's so much stuff. We didn't get it all in there, but when we're back in the new year, we'll pick up where we left off because we don't want anyone to feel left out, even if it's a little bit dated. We still want to thank the folks and recognize their donations and generosity around the Christmas season. Yeah, again, so we just want to wish everyone Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, however you celebrate the holiday season. Hope it's a great one, and I will echo Laura's statements. Again, thank you to everyone who supported the paper this year. We love serving the community of Amherstburg, and we look forward to doing so for many years to come.
Something that we are going to do that we haven't done before is we're going to take a break. We are not going to put out an issue on January the 1st. We had gone back and forth about it, and honestly, it was a game time decision last Friday when the press called, and do we or don't we? And we both looked at each other exhausted. We kind of looked like the Walking Dead there for a minute and said maybe we just take the time to unwind and come back fresh. So we are not going to put out an issue on January the 1st. We're going to hit the ground running on January the 8th. And I'm excited to spend some time with my family, but I'm more excited for you, Ron. I'm going to get choked up here. Ron works so hard all year, and to know that Ron's going to get a break means a lot. And hold on. And Ron, I couldn't do what I do without you day after day. You show up, you're at everything. You mean so much to me and to my family. And thank you for another great year. And I know 2025, we'll sit here in 50 weeks and wonder where that year went to. But to know that I get to share the year with you means a lot.
Well, I mean, I really appreciate all your efforts, and I appreciate everything that you and Dominic and your entire family have done for me over the past year. And it's not just with the paper, like we're friends outside the paper. So,
I don't tell anybody, but
yeah, it's just the secret's out. Sorry, and so it's been a great year, and yeah, we're going to enjoy a bit of downtime at least for this year. We'll see what how it shakes down next year, how much time we take off. But yeah, this year we're just going to take a bit of a break, and but that does just because the print edition's not coming out on the 25th or the 1st doesn't mean that the news stops. So. Keep an eye on www. Rivertown Times over the holidays. I'm still going to be picking away at stuff, working away here and there, and just maybe relaxing a little bit more. But check the website. We're still going to be keeping on top of stuff. So there's not going to be, I don't know if I can use this on a radio station, but there's not going to be radio silence. And so just because the print edition's not going to be in your hands for until January 8th after this week, check the website, rivertowntimes.com, and you're still going to get some updates here and there throughout the holiday season.
So, and a big thank you to all of our friends here at the radio station. Obviously to you, Terrence. I'm sure this year has felt very long, and the Wednesdays seem to come. And I don't know how you do what you do, putting up with Ron and I every week, but we sure appreciate all your time, your dedication, and it's been a pleasure to work with you and call you my friend as well. And also to my family, I need to shout out my husband, Dominic, our very silent partner. You would say, Ron, very silent. Go ahead.
Well, you can chime in whenever he likes, but yeah, he can. He kind of leaves it to us. So
for better or worse. And also to my 4 kids, Kira, Luca, little Dominic, and Aria, Merry Christmas, and thank you for supporting Ron and I and Dad through all of this. And our graphic designers, Matt and Lori, our proofreader, Ian, our drivers, Ken and Louise. We couldn't do what we do without all that you do for us, and I am so grateful that you're part of our RTT staff and you believe in what we put out. So, okay, I'm going to wrap it up. That's enough. I'm getting choked up here. So Merry Christmas, Amherstburg. Have a wonderful holiday season, and we'll see you in 25.
Have a great week. Have a great rest of your year, and we'll be back in January. Thank you again, Amherstburg, and take care. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year.